is this is what happens when you do it the right way. You don't get arrested. You don't get plastered on TV
This
as
is
a
just
sovereign citizen squatting in a house.
adverse possession. We
They
just got cut
recognize
off.
what we did as lawful. That's why they have to go to court to challenge it. Because if it wasn't lawful, why would they have to go to court?
We put in a claim on a house and we just heard back.
Right? Yeah. So this is proof that it works. Yeah. So any more have any questions about proof that what I've been telling you works or not? Go to the record.
For the camera, did you go to the house alone?
Yeah, because we just started up again. So
He go to the house alone.
Did you adverse possess the house alone?
No, this is claimed under the rise of the Moors, which is for the benefit of every single one of you and your prosperity.
and so we showed up, you
So
know.
you did this for the people, is what you're saying? Oh, okay.
So I didn't march and pray and beat a drum and say this is our ancestral land and the Europeans have it. I said, hey, look at this abandoned property. Let's go do some paperwork.
We looked up at City Hall just for the camera. We went to City Hall. We looked up who owned it, right?
Just for the record, hold on, just so they can see that my free national name is on this.
You have the other copy?
Yeah, it's a summons to Rise of the Moors, which is all of you, and then a summons for me. So you cannot tell me that they don't recognize Moors when it says Jamal Talib Abdullah Bey right on there.
And he's working on the
And you
removal
can't say they don't
to
recognize
federal
Rise of the Moors
court
as a
at the
nonprofit
moment
organization unless they wouldn't be suing it.
because this is a state court thing and we're not we're not citizens of the state of Rhode Island, so we're removing it to federal court.
What they want is for the courts to determine if their title is valid or not. Which is telling you that if it was actually valid, they wouldn't need that. They wouldn't need the court to say anything.
So they're looking for schemes.
So how come these Indians aren't doing this if they claim to be Aboriginal indigenous?
But wait, isn't there a case law that says property can't own property?
Exactly.
Who is the plaintiff?
Mid-First Bank.
Is that property?
Can banks
It
own
is.
Okay.
own property?
Banks cannot own property.
Oh, okay.
And this is where language is important, right? Jurisdiction. Because like you said, it's not just their words, right? It's their actions. They're claiming that a deed, which simply means action, is ownership. So if I do this, right, imagine this is yours, right? If I do this, I did the deed of taking it, does that mean it's mine?
No.
No, I stole it. Which in law is called conversion. We never gave these Europeans anything. You know what I'm saying? So just, and then when you look up, I'm not gonna get too much because I'm using a lot of this information as the response to them and our defense, etc. But y'all already know. These Europeans just dug themselves a large grave.
Yeah, because they also
Hey, yo,
sent
could
some
y'all
other.
real quick, please, real fast, because I do want to say something to you, and it's really important.
I just turned this live back on, so I'm not gonna cut it off. But once it's done, we
Well, I
can
told you that.
definitely.
Alright.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is real. I did not serve myself. Actually, when Brother Hassan walked in, you seen that European that was in here? He was serving us.
The constable. Yeah.
One came in here.
He knocked on the door, because you know our time when we're here is already public, so they already knew they were watching us. They already knew they were gonna be there at 12:30. That's what time he showed up.
Yep.
12:30.
Yeah, he really was like 12:32. And we got here right at 12:32.
He was almost the first one here.
Is he? See? Strategy. Attention. Right.
Any questions?
See strategy?
You said arrogance?
You'll get blocked real quick with that language, whoever you are.
All right.
That's a Moor, so that's who that is.
Hey, Coach is on the couch.
Vigilance.
I have
Any
that.
questions?
Moreno.
And guess what?
Thank you.
No questions?
One film coming to tell you.
I know you got a question.
No, I tengo que hacer something it's not going to
Lion.
Is your name in all caps on that?
Nope. It's not an all caps.
Could you state the remedy if it was in all caps?
Yeah, tell them to correct it. Rid of error. Fix my name. Or you slap. Slap.
You just send a notice of something saying that.
So guess what just happened? The state recognized us. As more.
This is awesome that we.
And that's the whole process, that's the whole thing that you go through.
That's part of the process.
With the whole scare tactic, right? And then waiting for somebody to run off. Pretty much the same thing they'll do in court. They'll say all these boys try to get you to throw off. When
Yeah,
you're
spells.
when you're trying to claim your nationality, you're trying to state who you are. for the record, they still try to veer off and say other things, but they know what you're trying to do.
Yeah. They know exactly what they're doing. That's
They
why
know,
they
they
did
know
this.
what they're doing. They know they don't need to do anything.
They had to
but
respond.
Right.
Let me just read what they're saying, just right here, because it's very interesting if you ask me. Because this is what this tells me right here. Let me see. The plaintiff, meaning them, MidFirst Bank, via their attorney Paul G. Manning Jr. The plaintiff seeks to determine from this court, confirming that they are the true and correct owner of the property and holder of clear title to the property. Meaning, our actions, what we did, we filed an adverse possession, challenged their claim of title to the land, which now they need to make sure that their claim is solidified because of what we're doing, because of our right of claim. That's why it's not a quiet title anymore.
Wait, so now since they're
not
doing
what
this,
title?
wait. So since they're doing this, that means the property's already ours.
Yes, it is.
Well, they
In
already
theory.
sent
not in
us.
theory, in fact.
They
It's
already
ours.
sent us
Yeah.
the letter.
No.
Sorry.
That's our evidence.
Yep.
Quiet title means uninterrupted, meaning no one challenged it. That's all that means. It's not allodial, it just means no one
I
challenged it.
just got that one too.
So it's quiet.
Yeah.
So if I quietly had something in my pocket that you don't know about, if I take your phone, right, and you don't know about it, and I put it in my pocket, that's quiet.
Of course.
Until you say, hey, where's my phone? It's no longer quiet.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And peep the signature. I forgot who said it, but someone was like, is that a signature?
Me.
Oh yeah, it was you. Peep the signature.
What is that?
So when Morris put all rights reserved, and the Europeans are like, that's not a valid signature? Well, how is that not a valid signature, but this is?
Put a Miley's face there.
That's a wave.
That's a wave. Yeah.
That's a wavelength. That's a wavelength. That was like science class learning about wavelength.
He's on the vibe right now.
You know how you say print your saving face? Never print the name.
I do.
I've been using that.
That's an actual signature. That's not. That's wavelength. First case.
Wow. So that means y'all have to show up in court as well.
Yeah, because they're suing you too.
I'm there.
Counters.
This is gonna be our future for our children too.
We are learning all together how to apply this, not as individuals, as a collective. You can successfully claim properties, but you have to know exactly what you're doing,
I don't want to be slapped with paperwork.
and you have to do it together.
Can I get that? Whatever it is. We already know every Maury has a phone.
Yes.
We're just stacking on paper. Yes. New phone his. Yeah, so for any of the dirty Moors out there saying, you know, the stuff on rvbaypublication.com isn't real, and the stuff that Taj Tariq Bey teaches will get you locked up, none of us are locked up. And I learned from them
Because we're doing it.
the right way. Not saying, oh, this didn't work, I gotta blame Taj now.
Or going into the house and staying there
By yourself.
by yourself and then getting caught up. Why would you do that? Send in the paperwork.
They say your nationality
Properly.
is not your salvation. You cannot be flashing your cards to Europeans.
Attention, please. X, you want to share your story?
He just walked over there.
Come back in here.
Are you gonna bring the paperwork? More show paperwork. You don't just.
Yeah, we love paperwork. Yeah, we love exhibit.
Proof, evidence. Let's see it.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A for all the Moors. I went to court November 12th, my last time appearing there, making a special appearance for everyone, for the judge to see.
First and last?
Yeah, first and last. So I went down there. Before I even got through the metal detectors, I already seen out my eye the law enforcement, policy enforcement. looking at his piece of paper of me. And then he had this piece of paper in his hand, asking the marshals, is that him? Because I looked different from the mugshot, who they thought they was talking to. So they had this in his hand. As I walked through, he said, hey, Kurt Brown, man, why ain't you been paying child support? You was doing good. Excuse me, I do not know who you are. I don't understand, and I gotta go. And the piece of paper just dropped to the floor. And he just, everybody looking at him like, he's a clown. Looking at the white, he's a clown. He like, what, you were doing so good. What are you talking about? I don't understand, and I don't consent. I don't know what you're talking about. And I just went about my business. This is application for contempt. Anytime we know when they held you in contempt, they want to hold your physical body in contempt. They couldn't hold my physical body in contempt because I am not who they say that I am. I am who I say I am, not who they say I am. So since this person don't exist, I don't concur to that. I don't concur. I don't make contracts with governments. I don't even know they exist. I don't even know what their true purpose is. I don't know what they're trying to do. I just know I don't want no parts of it. Me and my family don't want no parts of it. My daughter's living fine, we're living fine, and I don't want no parts of it. And this was well planned.
So you won the battle, but the war's not over.
Definitely not. But this was well planned.
Was the
and
paper
strategized.
you passed the paper around?
Oh, yes, please.
That's a civil proceeding?
Civil proceeding. But they try to say that civil proceedings can get you locked up in prison.
This is what we
if
had
you don't apply
put on
to
the
their
record.
system. If you're not compliant
If I can
to their contracts,
get
they
them
say
to
they
see
can
anything.
physically lock you up for not paying child support.
That's what we put on the record.
No government had no claims to your child or your wife or the woman that you were dealing with. They don't supposed to have no business being involved at all.
Spanish Inquisition.
Spanish Inquisition. States don't have no rights.
It's not acting in positive.
We literally hand wrote it,
Got the T. Oh, okay.
and we all signed it.
Parents patrie. That's
And
what
we
the
put it on
Europeans
file.
act like your parents. That's why those Europeans talk to you like that in court. Because they're taking an authoritative position over you. And if you accept their tone and how they're speaking to you, then you're accepting that they have power over you. You know, the Bible says he has no power, at least what you give to him. Talk about the devil. They have no power, at least what we give to them.
Choice.
Because the first Hermetic principle, right? Is what? Universe is mental. So everything is based on your perception, your comprehension, your inner over understanding, and the workings of nature. So as an example, we keep telling our Moors to move out here, move out here, move out here, and then what do I keep hearing? Well, Black Wall Street got bombed in Tulsa, blah, 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 and the Europeans got all the tanks and all the guns. Now, in Vietnam, the Europeans had all the tanks, the guns, the napalm, and everything, superior manpower, all of that, right? And guess who won the Vietnam War?
The Vietnamese.
The Vietnamese.
Guerrilla warfare.
Any questions? So they have you already losing in your mind that you don't even want to do anything for your own salvation. It's called mental slavery and mental warfare.
That's what Fidel did when he was beating he wasn't really beating them, he was just going on the
Saying
radio
that he
saying
was.
that he was winning and
Yeah.
mentally messed them up.
Because there's something called the court of public opinion, which is why propaganda is so important to any organization.
And you just mentioned this right now. You know how many people are hearing this and they like, he's right, but
That means you agree. This is, I had a conversation with my mother about something, and she said, Jamal, that's just how it is. I was like, all right, the conversation's over. Because to me, that means, and this is nothing against my mother, so just to tell you that I'm a real human being and I have real conversations, this is real. To me, and that, my mother's not the only one that has said that. That is mental submission. That means, okay, since that's how it is, you're agreeing to it. That's all that means. So there's no point of me having to continue this conversation.
If you're a
But
various
that was
Coppertone
years
native
ago.
of the
Now she
land,
knows she's a Moor. Now she knows what's
then
going
you're a
on.
Moor.
Now she sees what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, none of that bullshit of, well, that's just how it is. That's called acceptance. You ain't challenging.
That's their favorite line. That's their favorite line.
That's their cop-out.
Nah, no bullshit for 2020. I'm giving it to Moors like that. Yo, real talk. Like, you a Moor? What you willing to sacrifice for this movement? And if I don't hear the response is not your life, get away from me.
But you know what? For the branch of the movement that you gonna be in charge of, bro. That's exactly the
necessary.
mentality
For
you have.
Slim, who said you're a black man, I'm gonna show you what that
Because
means.
on the battlefield, you can't have no. You know what
But
it is.
you saying just me, but it ain't
No,
only
the
me.
reason why I say that is this, bro. I love you too, bro. I just want you to know that I love you, bro. But it's the same thing, right? Because certain people be ready to sacrifice for certain things, right?
Yep.
So they'll go to the depth for a different kind of fear, right? Everybody, like you just said, is perception, right? So if everything is mind and perception, right? And you got this little fear gland in the back of your head, right? You're able to do everything until it hit that fear gland, right?
Yep.
So every person got different
They're built for
levels,
certain
right?
things. Yeah.
So you might be able to go out and physically remove somebody, right?
Yep.
And this person may be able to go out and talk to everybody.
Yes.
And verbally move
Yes.
people.
You know,
Which is exactly how the United States is, they have it set up. The president is the commander-in-chief. He appeals to the people verbally. And then he has his generals who does the dirty work. But they're like this.
And when he don't want to speak, he puts the speaker
Well,
in the house.
a lot of it's unnecessary. They're just, but I get what in our
you
context.
know what though?
it would be
Because we
necessary.
dealing with, and you know way more than me, so I'll never
No, I
argue
don't.
with you about
I only know what I know.
Right, and it's more than me right now. I gotta remember some more. But I say this, right? We talking about the manifested world. We're not talking about the intuitive world, right? In the intuitive world, we have nothing to fear because you're here, right? In the manifested world, we have something to fear because until you actually figure out
So are you black?
something that
Are
is
you black?
manifested here in front of us,
Or is this what
to
you
make
are?
people not scared of the manifested world, is to no effect. The left and the right not meeting.
Well, I think the first,
Can I just,
real quick,
yeah.
the first step we're having to be, what you're saying, the first step will have to be you understanding that you are energy. And energy doesn't die. So you won't die. When you take that concept and put that in your brain, you
Right.
will then overstand that you sacrificing your life for whatever cause is
So
it's just an experience.
Let me.
I get that. And
It's
I love
just an
that.
experience.
What you're saying is 100% right. But then again, if we listening to our ancestors, what they left behind, the symbols they left behind, right? If what we saying is right, we never have to fight. Ever.
No, we do.
No, listen to
No,
what I'm
you
saying.
right. You right.
Listen, if
You right.
what
If
they're
we so
if-
100 deep,
if-
we might not
no,
have to
but
fight.
listen to what I'm saying. If our ancestors had this figured out before it happened, right? They knew that at some point we will be able to get our intelligence back, right? And we'll be able to learn, right? But they were patient enough to let us suffer for this many years in a row, knowing what y'all just said. You're just gonna keep coming back. You're just gonna, they'll be fine. The physical body is of nothing, right? So with that in mind, right, is really just about patience and really using our
There's
intuitive
multiple
power,
things I
right?
want to comment on. You're absolutely right, but you're missing one important thing. Degrees.
Degrees.
Yes. The physical means nothing, but our spirit is in this. Our soul is in this. So during this time, it does mean something.
Right.
Because your spirit is actually affected by this physical body. Right? Because the higher self and the lower self are connected.
Right.
Lower self doesn't necessarily mean bad. Just like the word ego just means self. Right? So the problem is a lot of our people just think this is a spiritual battle. Other people just think that this is a physical battle. Few know it's both.
Right.
And the few that know try to teach the people that there's nothing wrong with being afraid. That's natural. It's called human instincts. Right? It's called the animal instinct. You have to eat to survive. You have to do certain things to survive. There's nothing wrong with that. That's survival. Right? Fear is artificial. That's not real. They use the acronym false evidence appearing real. Right? So you ever go in the shower, right? You're washing your hair, you close your eyes, and you're like,
The demon when your eyes are shut?
you
Yeah.
turn around for nothing because you're manifesting something. That ain't real.
That's right.
Not only that, when you're afraid, there's a chemical change that goes within your body that actually increases your senses. So therefore, you will hear better, see better without even knowing it when you're afraid. So being afraid is not necessarily bad because it heightens your senses, but don't fear. Don't fear.
And I still
Use being afraid. So look.
As a weapon.
No, it's not about that part. What I'm talking about is this.
Let me just say this about being afraid and fear. Don't let being afraid reach its lower level of fear. Right?
That makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
All the sense in the world.
That's overcome your fear.
I just wanna, I wanna, just because we gotta be careful when we tell our people to load up and go, right? Because
No one's saying that.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
I know.
you get so
Yeah.
when we use our words, right? We gotta make sure our words meet the concept, right? Because, like you said, like I've really been in real situations where it was us against them, right? Like real life situations where they got on all their war stuff, they got their fucking helmets on and their body stuff, and we inside a room with just stuff. Guerrilla warfare, as you call it, right? This is real life guerrilla warfare, right? So we make it out the cell, they close my eye up, rip my hair off, macing me in my, like they're trying to kill me, literally, I'm on the floor. So we gotta be careful, right? Because one bad fight, right? We won't fight again.
Some people.
Right? But I'm noticed because I'm that person, right? I'm that person. Like, I'm actually living, I'm that person, bro, that gets tired of everything. And who's the bully? I want the bully. I don't want him. I want the bully. You know what I'm saying? That's me, right? So even if it gets to the point where the officer's the bully, I want the bully. Because I'm already, them mental chains was never there. That suit, that badge don't make you no different than me. You still, only way you're different than me is if you train better than me. That's it.
I hear what you're saying, but let me tell you something. It's not necessarily the officer who's the bully.
Right, but that's what I was getting to.
You understand?
No, you're
so let's say we have our own
saying.
community.
Saying what I'm saying.
We have our own community. It could be coming from.
Right.
Go get this neighborhood.
Right.
You understand? Right. So tactically, you would have to be mentally prepared for that, positionally with knowledge.
Right. Because if we get to the end, the last thing I'm gonna say, brother, you take it away. Because if we are properly prepared for the war and we do actually feel like we're smarter than our opponent, right? Then we know what the last move is, right? And it won't hurt and it'll be.
So what I was about to say is, there could be a point where we're so ready that there is no fight.
There is no fight, exactly.
Yep. Which is the goal.
Right.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
No nation of people wants war.
So we don't have
desires it in any form, faction, or manner whatsoever.
So we don't have to worry about the fear part. We don't have to worry about the fear factor.
Just like if
that's what you want. You want a smooth situation.
Like this. Look at the United States. Look at the United States and look at China. The United States is reluctant to invade China. Why? Because they're prepared.
They're ready.
Yeah,
they're always ready.
They'd rather attack a weaker nation.
They got
so all we gotta do is get ready.
Stay ready.
Just like.
Have you ever seen the old movie with Knights? Both knights will come. I mean, both, you know, whatever,
Yeah,
castles
yeah.
will come. They'll
Yeah.
meet in the middle of the battleground.
Yeah.
The soldiers far away,
Yeah.
and they'll talk
Right.
politics.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's establish this for once right here. Last time before we go to war,
Yep. Let's talk.
let's talk. You know, because we don't want bloodshed. So, you know, that's us actually trying to put everything aside.
De-escalate things.
And if
Escalate.
doesn't
But
de-escalate
everybody
it,
at the end of the day
that's fine.
is ready.
and they turn back. If it's war, they turn back. And
There's
then
a
archers, they start getting ready for war.
there's a
Or if
recent
not,
there's
let's
a
just
recent
go.
article, a news article on North Korea. North Korea said the United States will choose their Christmas present, and then they were flashing nukes, their army, all of that. So either which one do you get to choose what you want. But they're flexing.
Yep.
Their people are ready. Their people are prepared. And if they're not, they have the illusion that they are.
That's propaganda. Yeah. And that's crazy.
Which propaganda is not bad. It's again, which part of the scale that you're using it on.
And if you ask me, North Korea fine. All those people have their own little huts. They all garden. They live natural. They probably show us on TV. Supposedly they skinny on that. They ain't skinny. They just eat good. Asians eat
They're just
good.
not obese.
Asians really eat good. They eat mad herbs and all that. Go to a Chinese restaurant. Half of the food has more than 3 vegetables in it.
Yeah.
No, man, you give them a bowl of rice, they'll fight for a year.
It's two. It's two. My brother.
Boy,
That's all I got. Any questions? You did things we read every meeting, right?
Yeah.
yeah. What do y'all want from y'all movement?
That's a good question.
Join our weekly
What do y'all
chat on
want?
Wednesday.
Y'all
You can get direct access to the Grand Sheik Jamal. Ask him
Anybody.
questions
Specifically,
every Wednesday, 7 to 9
what do you
p.m.
want personally?
Go to
What do you
riseofthemorris.org
expect? You know,
to gain access.
what changes you want for the up and coming Gregorian
Let them
calendar
answer. Let them
year?
answer. I want to hear answers.
You know,
Changes, what do we want for the Moorish?
What do you want personally from the Morris movement?
Yep.
Me, personally?
Yeah.
I yield the floor to others, others can have it.
I'll start. So we're going into a new year. This new year, the colonial occupation, United States, will be having a so-called election. I think it's time for us to make some noise. And when I say make noise, I mean making our presence known. You understand? Like, live for real, for real.
How so?
Yes, how so?
So, one will be getting more and more to come down. Or if not down here, start linking up where you at. Start and getting the malls to communicate with each other, sending correspondence to each other. Listen, we got 50 malls here. We got another 25 there. We got another this there. Start going to capital. The capitals in these the state houses, excuse me. Start going to the state houses. Deep, you know, hit them state by state. A lot of us are here in the Northeast. What we can do? All right, we got Mass, Rhode Island, Connecticut. We all right here. Everyone needs to get together. We take Rhode Island, go to the State House. Once we put them on notice and we get them on our page, we go to the next state, quote unquote. Massachusetts, Rhode Island recognize now you have no choice. And I'm talking about people clearing up their schedules.
Yeah, facts.
Spring is coming, let's start gardening. You're gonna worry about food, spring is coming, let's start gardening. Use your old clothes from last year. And if you gain some weight, it's time to lose weight.
I mean, to be honest, you're mentioning things that have to be done. Like last time when I was set up,
Yeah.
you said like certain things that if we don't do, we might as well just walk out of here.
Yeah.
What you just mentioned is literally what we have to do.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like setting the dates for going to the city hall to press the mayor?
Yeah, of course. 'Cause, no, I mean, no. I'm saying.
And how none of us showed up.
No, that's my whole point. Yeah, you feel me? That's the whole. That's the whole point. That's why he just said what he said. You feel me? That's why he said what he said. Like he's not saying it because he hasn't been tried before and even worked out or did.
Let me tell you something.
They clearly,
Wait. Let me stop you. From what I know right now, is like we are literally playing. These governor officials have already been put on notice. What are we doing? When the consulate started, they were put on notice. What are we doing?
That's why I said school.
Who's gonna fund the school?
We don't need to fund it, we just need to provide it, venue.
How are we gonna provide it?
Collectively as a group.
Okay, collectively as a group, we average possessed. Look at the resistance we're getting now with a small little house. You're talking about university,
It
bro.
doesn't matter though, but it's still
No, but I'm
factual
just,
proof.
no, we
We're
don't want to
still-
school.
we're
It
not
has to be a
doing-
university.
We're not doing anything unlawful. That's my whole point. We're not doing anything unlawful.
You're
So
not
there
understanding,
there is
y'all
no
not understanding
reason
what I'm
why.
saying. We're not doing anything unlawful.
Exactly.
All right,
But we're under colonial occupation,
Thank
and they're not having it.
they giving us
He's-
resistance
what
every
his
step.
point is, we're doing what we need to do and we're still getting resistance,
Yes.
which means there's not enough of us. That's all I mean.
We need to take this to the next step. We can't be doing what we've been doing for the past 2 years, which is sitting behind the camera, talking about what's happening, or pointing the finger at this one that he's saying that, or what this one said was wrong, and then this one, whatever, and I'm jealous of this one's fame and nobility.
Right.
I think I want to grab the phone. I think I got something that I want to see going into this new year. More unity amongst the Moors. We have Rise of the Moors here, right? Pulling the boatload. You have Duke Sir of Tears over there. You have Taj in Delaware. You have other Moors
Consulate,
everywhere, all these counties,
Maryland.
entitled Moors. But yet still,
Chicago.
everyone banging on the singular beast, and we don't know each other.
Not everyone's banging on the beast though.
I mean, everyone would pretend or put themselves forth as I'm gonna give everyone the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah.
So I'm saying is, where's the unity?
Yep.
I know this like this love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and I watch a lot of Moors hop the first 4 to justice, and they ain't never ever been in front of the oppressor a day in their life. You know how I feel about it. So I'm curious in this movement. Rise of the Moors is here, Delaware's there, Duke over there. All these Moors are everywhere, and everyone claims to be banging on the beast, but we don't know each other.
Because we're all doing stuff as individuals.
Individual, separate. So I would like, as a wish, you said, what do I wish? This is just one of my wishes going into the new year.
Can I add?
Add.
Let me just give you some examples of how we, the Rise of the Moors, have reached out to other Moors. I personally played for Cujo to come out here to do a class.
I remember
Unity
that.
right there.
I remember that.
We've been to Delaware House of Rams several times to see Abdullah and Taj,
We
where
went to
we've been the
Chicago.
only Moors in the class. So we're going out and reaching out to people. And, you know, Tamara from the House of Ram asked me to go out to the House of Ram and teach, so I'm inviting all of y'all. So there's some unity. It's just not enough.
And it's not for the right things.
And it's nonchalant.
It's not geared towards the right thing. It's always unity for, oh, let's do this workshop, or unity for, oh, let's have this party, or unity for, oh, when it comes to like the important stuff, we're not coming together. It's, oh, I can't make it today.
When I was part of the consulate, and when I wasn't part of the consulate, I recommended to one of the consul generals that we have not necessarily a march on Washington, but have all the Moors go to Washington and demand a meeting with the president of the United States. It was considered, but it was only considered.
And
Which
that's,
that would have been major. Instead of justice or else, we go there and we're not leaving until Trump comes out. Peacefully.
Yep.
In the White House, you can't deny us in. That's supposed to be the people's
Yep.
That's the people's
president's
venue.
seat, right?
Yep.
So it's open to the public, right?
Yep.
That means we can come in here, sit here, and wait.
Yep.
And no, it ain't
And we
begging,
can
it
have
ain't
a
marching and
militia to
praying,
bear
it's
arms to protect our
enforcing.
people,
Hold on, what?
right?
Too many people at the same time. Dad, what'd you say? Say it again?
I said that we can have a militia to bear arms to protect our people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now, the reason why I tell you this is because almost every Thursday, there's over 100 Moors on the consulate's calls. Over 100 Moors.
Still?
Yeah, still. Yes. And that's not even including the Moors that left the consulate. And all of us. You know what I'm saying? So, word gets out there. But the issue, like I've said before, and I'll continue to say, the issue remains Moors not showing up. Moors not supporting. Moors like, oh, well, I need to be in charge because of my ego. Oh, I need to be in charge because I just woke up into this movement and I want to be in charge. And not putting in zero work. Not even honoring what the prophet said, that in order to change the people, we must change the literature. So to even be a grand sheikh, you have to have written a book.
No.
And these people claiming different types of Moorish offices haven't even written a book to help cure the minds of the people.
And they want to be in charge. They want to be in charge to preach. to preach.
Yeah.
Because if you was actually teaching, you wouldn't want to be in charge. Because you put a target on
It's a headache.
forget on your back, you putting a target on your head. Yep. So,
I mean, that says it all over the Bible. Watch out the fake prophets. It's like literally everywhere you go, there will be fake.
No one's asking permission for anything.
Monks out, come and grab this amount of people, sweet talk.
So can I just add to the unity part?
It's called demand,
We've
not
been putting out
asking.
Rise of the Moors University for a long time. It's a university. I'm not claiming to be a government and I gotta be the leader guy. This is a university for the benefit of our children. So if you're really about unity, you're gonna come to university. If you're really about the upliftment of the Moors, you're gonna come to the university and teach, provide security, cook the food for the students, do whatever it is you need to do for the upliftment of the children.
even if you had to do it for free.
Because there's a lot of Moors out there claiming to be a government. Too many. How many Moors claiming to be a university? To actually teach our people. No, it's I'm this government and I'm the president of this republic and I'm the president of this federal whatever and I'm the president of this general consulate and I'm the grand sheik of this whatever and then where's university at? If you're really sincere, you would have a university. So if all the Moors claiming that they want unity and want the rise of the Moors, not talking about this organization, I'm talking about the rise of our people in general. You might want to support a university that is not subjective, but objective and dedicated to teaching our people everything that is necessary for their salvation. I'm talking about math teachers, history teachers, English teachers, science teachers, language, medicine,
Biology.
martial arts, biology, music, religious, jurisprudence, astrology, medicinal herbs,
Engineering.
agriculture,
History
engineering,
and law.
history and law,
Accounting,
how to put a
finance,
resume together, how to write a book,
everything.
how to build a house, what a solar panel is, what's solar energy, what's wind energy.
Put it like this:
Agriculture.
MIT has students, right? Their students invent things. MIT puts it out as they did,
Because they did.
because it came from within the school.
Just like if we do something here, Rise of the Moors did it, regardless of the individual that.
It's not
did
just
it.
MIT that does it too.
A lot of other schools do. So imagine our children going to school.
Because
So
that adds credibility, credit
Yeah.
to the schools. So now more people want to come. Oh wow, these people are getting shit done.
No, but not only that. You put that up. Finances are being raised for the school. Now that individual who created, the inventor created that, he gets a portion, going to school for free. Even probably if Rise of the Moors school is free at some point. You know what I'm saying? He's going to school for free now, making finance, and he's on his way to creating something else in his own capacity. Because he did it with his school. The school showed him the way. He owns the patents, everything. So now he can do it on his own. Invent something else.
We're having a convention January 8th for the Rise of the Moors University.
You know,
Be
so
here
The
to help
possibilities
support.
is endless. The biggest problem is we are playing games.
It's the Prophet's birthday.
This is not high school no more. We're adults. You know, we already have enough politicians out here playing politics. Let's put that to the side. Let's get serious. Let's really get serious, because there's a lot of us who have children, and for them to go through the same thing we going through, it really don't make no sense. So what was your wish?
Yeah.
Jamal finished it. He expounded upon it and he finished it. The unity.
Unity?
It would be nice if, or rather, it would be well worth in our favor strategically.
Yeah.
To be in loops
Yeah.
with other Moors,
Yeah.
with other so-called.
Can I add on to that?
I'll let him finish.
I'm sorry.
We don't have to like each other. I'm
Let
just
him
I was
thinking
about to say that.
strategically.
I was about to
We
say
don't
that.
have to like each other because when they sit in the Senate and all that, I watched some of the impeachment. None of those Slavics don't like each other.
No.
They do what they gotta do. Business is business.
Common
All
goal.
we gotta do is grasp the concept, just like what you said. What did you call it? Procedure, right?
Yeah.
Can be any weapon or any arm or any machine, any computer. When you get in front of it, know the procedure. Simple.
So can I add?
Yes.
Because you're right, we don't have to like each other as Moors. And a lot of times I'll expose certain people who are incompetent. but then other Moors will have a problem with that. As if you knowing that this person doesn't know what they're doing is a problem. How would that be a problem? You get what I'm saying? Moors think that we have to like each other and, oh, just because this person's a female and she's a Moor, that we have to bow down to the matriarch, even though she's blatantly, clearly, and obviously incompetent. That doesn't mean I don't like her or him. It just means this person's an idiot.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I'm not going to communicate with them.
That's not good.
I'm not going to give them advice.
That's not good on no level, bro.
What do you mean?
Because if we, just the basic fundamentals of who we are and what we represent, right? We gotta understand that at the end of it all, right? The way we treat each other is gonna be our participation level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, some things mean more than other things, right? So if the unseen means more than what we know, right? Then we can't just be coming at people when they don't understand. We gotta
No.
Let me clarify.
Yeah.
We gotta meet people
So let me
at their
clarify that.
level.
So let me clarify that, because I'm talking about an ongoing issue where I put people.
He was
on
very
notice that,
general about a
these
specific
things,
situation.
The way you're approaching the situation doesn't make sense. I actually have written documentation that I've done this to this particular group of people.
Hold on, let me be a little bit clearer. There's a situation where there's a person who is putting themselves in charge as if they know all of this law, but they don't know anything. So they're teaching people the wrong things and leading everybody off a cliff
So
and
do we
into
have-
trouble.
Do we have clear behavioral rules and guidelines for our group?
For that specific group that I was a part of, I wrote the trust. It's not in there. Because I wrote the structure. Now we're all supposed to be part of this, not me doing all the work. And actually, it's not part of the actual trust, but it's part of their commission papers. It says if you do certain things, any egregious actions towards the Moors, then you have to step down. So by
They're straight
misleading
up
the people,
lying to the Moors.
misleading the people, things like that, you have to step down. But anyway,
Yeah.
these people were put on notice several times, written verbally, etc., about how we should approach things, about what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, and why it doesn't make sense. I'm talking about I'm writing things as to how we should do it, why we should do it. This is what the definition is. This is what the prophet said. This is why I think we should do it. A presentation. Here you go.
Peacefully.
And then they reject it.
Because they didn't
And
understand.
then not because they don't understand. Because I just put you on notice. I gave you the definitions of everything. You can't
say you don't know
right
now.
You shouldn't be in that position.
But this is back to what we was talking about.
Let me establish
though,
the precedent. Because if you claim to law, and I'm telling you adverse possession, jurisprudence, and you don't know what that is, then step the fuck down.
You shouldn't be in the position that you're
Get out the
in.
way.
I get it. I get that.
Respectfully.
I get that.
But this is what these people do.
I get that.
Oh, this person da 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 da, and then to the public, oh yeah, you know, hominis dominus, holy moly, macaroni, just slandering people.
Did you just put a spell on me? No, chill.
So the way I'm communicating to you is respect.
No,
Respect. No. I'm saying in that situation, the way I was communicating to them was respect.
I get
But
what
the
you're
way they
saying.
respond is not.
I'm the same way you are, right?
Yeah.
I'm the exact same way you are as far as how you feel about things, right?
Yeah.
I tell you a story about my ex-wife, and she's my ex-wife